Hey, I am live, and right after this intro, I'll talk to you. Sometimes I was thinking about my life, wondering where did I go wrong. Sometimes I start to wonder. Yeah, hi. This is Sean, and this is Federal Prison Talk. And let me get this off the screen. There we go. So, I was trying to think of a topic tonight and stuff, and I had too many. I didn't have enough. I don't know. I just thought, I got to start doing more videos. Let's just go live. Let's see who comes on. Let's see what's in the chat room here. And I decided, hey, I'm just going to see if anybody wants to come on and be a guest. And no, I'm not going to screen nobody. I'll just hit the button and click you off. But there's a lot going on in the federal prison system all the time. It seems like the latest one I just did a show about. They want to extend home confinement. They're closing down a lot of camps. Oh yeah, I've been calling a bunch of camps lately because I had a request. There's somebody called me up, and they got sentenced to a federal prison camp. At least, pretty sure they're going. And I have a little classification questionnaire that I can always do with you to find out your classification level. Not where you're going. I mean, not how much time you're doing, but where you're going. And I also have that sentencing chart too, but I'm not a judge. Judge can go below that. He can go above that. A lot of people call me, and we talk about that because it can make a big difference what you say on sentencing day and what you've done with your time until you get sentenced. And a lot of people that watch this channel are on pretrial. Now, if you are a violent criminal and you rob banks and rape women and all, you're going to be locked up the whole time. So people like that, they don't have internet unless they snuck a cell phone in somehow. I doubt they're going to watch this show. People that tend to watch me are, I don't know, maybe white collar, but a lot of drugs, and drugs are nonviolent unless you get a gun involved, so to speak. Having said that, because I was at a prison camp, guys, I did 52 months for wire fraud. So if you got a bad neighborhood where you live, and there's zombies walking around on fentanyl and all that. Back in my day, they were, well, before I went to prison, I was high on crack, screaming at traffic. Just wanted somebody to flip me off, so I knew that, hey, at least somebody knows I'm alive today. I was like that. Probably going to prison was like the best thing that could ever happen to me. Really, I needed it. I'd go back and do it again. I went to a camp though, so had I went to a penitentiary, we'd probably seen a different bird right now. But anyways, a lot of people are on pretrial, and just like me, 4 years of pretrial. You're not knowing if you're going to prison, you're getting probation, you're getting 20 years, you're getting 12 years, you're getting 8 years, and the years go by. You can have a job. Some people have an ankle bracelet and a curfew and all that. I didn't have that because, well, I got to go to a drug program while I was on pretrial. Got to go? Yeah, I got to go. I got that offer. I didn't have to go. Hey, we got Kathy. What's going on? Let's see here what she says. Hi, how you been? So the last time I spoke in your comments, they moved my husband from Florence, Colorado to Cannon, I guess it's in Pennsylvania. He's under his 2 years mark. Can't wait for him to be home. If he's 2 years to the door and he's in a camp or a low facility, he can get it's called a social furlough. Because I just got a call from Anthony, who's in Otisville. Last weekend, he was on a 3-day pass. A furlough's a pass, okay? His wife picked him up, and he had to go back Monday, and he took the time to call me on that 3-day pass. I'm not going to give you his last name because he said don't do that. I had someone want to come on the show. He goes, man, I'm on a 3-day pass. I got to go back to prison Monday. Anything could go wrong, but he's eligible. If you're 2 years to the door and he hasn't done anything wrong, and I have the blank passes, although his case manager should have them. But if not, I can email them to you, and then you send them to him. He fills it out. He goes to his case manager, and I want a 3-day furlough. and they grant them. When I was at my camp, I've seen a half a dozen guys get them. A lot of people don't believe they exist, even in the camp. There was guys, they would go on their 3 days, come back, and still people didn't believe that they were on a pass. Well, you didn't see me for 3 days. Yeah, just because I didn't see you. You weren't really on a pass. They give them. They give them. They're still giving them. So, Kathy, he can get a pass to come home for 3 days. You got to be 2 years to the door, and I don't know how often they give them to you. I don't know that. I do know a guy that was there for 5 years. He got 2 passes while he was there, not for a funeral. It's called a social furlough. So I've been working with a guy now that's getting ready to go in, and he just found out his wife's pregnant, and he's not going to be there to see the baby, but hopefully now he will. Probably he's not going to be able to time it when the baby's born, but he'll be able to see that newborn. And I sent him all the blanks, and your case manager should have those, but these guys are so overworked, and they'll say, "Oh yeah, I'll look it up." But if you have the blanks in your hand that somebody mailed to you, and you show them to your case manager or give them to him, then he's got to get the warden to sign it and all that. But yes, it can be done. It can be done. So just so you guys know, there's a lot of privileges when you are going a nonviolent criminal. Believe it or not, at a camp, you're considered an out of custody inmate. That's why a lot of jobs you go to town and work. There's a whole crew they had that went to City Hall, did all the landscaping and everything around there, driving lawnmowers. Those lawnmowers that like that you can ride because some of the parks are just miles of grass, golf courses and stuff. They'll send you out for that. But it's not like the chain gangs in Oklahoma, Oklahoma, Alabama, all that. Arkansas, it's not. They have little contracts with the cities, and we're considered out of custody inmates. So we even have town drivers, guys they give the keys every morning. Their job is to go to the Greyhound bus station and drop off the people that are getting released. They give them errands to go pick up things for the camp. We had guys who drove, bigger trucks and go pick up the food supplies and, just pick up. They just gave them a list of errands and they'd be out all day running around. There was a guy who drove the recycling truck. That was my one of my cellies, Alaska. He was called in. He would go around and go to the dumps and dump off all the trash, and then he had to go pick things up and come back and driving all the way around for not much money. I think they got 40 cents an hour. What's she say here? She said, "Yes, please. I have not seen him in 18. Oh my God, 18 years. So he's got all his points lowered. He's been 18 years, man. And you're still with him? Do you know?" Boy, everybody would have lost money on that bet. Wow. 18 years. You haven't seen him in 18 years, so you haven't visited him? Or, did he do that much time? Or you just haven't seen him? Wait a minute. Um, but you're waiting for him. Yeah, he can get the, I'll just put my email. Guys, I don't hide my phone number. I got a couple phone numbers anyways, Google Voice. And if it ever blew up, and so I'll just, change it. But I'm going to put my email address on here. And Kathy, you email me. I'll send you those blank forms. I'll put my email down here right now. And because I don't care. I just don't care. I never have any weirdos, blow me. I've had my phone number on pretty much every video. If you go to the main site, let me put my email on here, and then you just email me, and I will send you those blank furlough forms. So there it is, and hopefully that they'll approve him. If 18 years, I know he didn't start off in a camp. I'm assuming he's in a camp. 2 years left to the door. He could still be in the penitentiary, or I don't know where he started off at. But if he's in the camp, they'll give the furlough. In a low facility, there's 4 levels. Low is number 2. I'm not quite sure about the furloughs there. I know camps give them though. So I'm assuming that. You've been with him for 27 years. Wow. So more than half the marriage. Wow. Bet you didn't see that one coming. Guys, when we do go to prison, the loved ones like this, we leave behind. And I'll bet you, Kathy, you put a lot of blame. You put a lot of blame in him, right? When he left, like he was leaving you. Because that's kind of what we do, guys. We abandon our family. Not everybody wants to admit that. But we do. We make those life decisions. Now, a bad choice to me, that's not more than a bad choice. Bad choice is, man, I knew I should have got the Big Mac instead of that chicken sandwich. I thought it was going to be good. That's a bad decision. That's a bad, that's a bad choice. But when we go to prison, it's more than a bad decision or choice, man. It's a whole lifestyle decision. Okay, and you don't think about your family because you go off and man, you leave them high and dry. You do that to your family, and until you can admit that to yourself, because it's not just no. I've been robbing banks for years. On every Monday, I rob a bank every third month on a Monday. I decided to do it on a Tuesday. That's why I went to prison. It's not because I robbed the bank. Hello, you robbed the bank. Okay, period. And because you rob banks on Monday and get away with it, you think that's all fine. Uh, that was your first mistake. Okay, it's not that you chose to do it on a Tuesday or somebody snitched you out. Um, and I don't like snitches either. But if somebody snitches you out, maybe take a look at yourself. You know, why did they do that? So why are you living that way? Today, I mean, I got nothing to hide. That's why I put my phone number out there. I put my email. I don't care. I don't put my address. And well, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. But I gotta have somewhere safe. But I can live free now. I don't have to look over my shoulder anymore. So that's great. Let's see what she says here. No, he is in no camp. They won't send him to a camp because of his charge. He got charged for drugs in a gun violation by a felon. There was guys like that in my camp with guns. They couldn't get into RDAP because they had a gun enhancement and stuff. But they went to camps unless it was like he shot the gun at a cop or something. But I'm surprised. Is he in a low? Is he in a medium? That's messed up because usually while you work all those years in prison, you work your way down. A lot of that stuff kind of gets removed. 2 years to the door. Those 2 years to the door. How come you have not visited him? I'm curious. I'm curious why you have not visited him. So, anyways, what else is going on? I got some clips and stuff. I wasn't sure what I was going to talk about, but I was going over like past shows I've done and guests. So I've done a couple of these shows. I call them super chats. I had 10 prison channels all on at once, and I need to start sending the invites out again. A lot of them were people you guys heard of Matt Cox. He's got a big channel now. When he did this, I think he had 10,000 subscribers. He's got 500,000 subscribers now. I think he's pretty big. He still talks to me. RDAP Dan, if you guys are into the pretrial stuff, we just talked a few days ago. He inspired me to do this channel while I was on pretrial. I came on his show. I called him a bunch. He helped me out. Let's see what she says here. When I took the vow in front of our Lord to love him until death do us part, that's what I meant. And it sounds like you meant it. I'm still curious, how come you have not went to visit him? They have tablets now. They can do video. You can video call people now. I understand. They didn't have those when I was in prison, but at least have you done that? Well, you said you hadn't seen him. So, but man, that's a long time to wait for someone. A long time. Most guys that have more than 5 years, their other one usually doesn't wait. I mean, I've seen. I had a cellie, Mike, and he did 8 years, and she waited for him. It happens, but it doesn't happen. It just happen a lot. I don't know what the numbers are. I'd say if you got 5 years or more, half of you guys are going to come, or women, going to not have a husband or wife to come home to. I'd say about half. And then the longer you're in, so Kathy is definitely not in that number at all. So that's a long time to wait for them. And you haven't seen him. You didn't even know wow, what does he look like now? Guys who grow long beards when they're in there, or they'll shave off their head. Or I know guys that went to prison weighing 300 pounds come out 120. They work it all off, or vice versa. Usually not vice versa though. You don't usually get fat in prison unless you've got so much money coming in and out, and you're eating everything, and you don't work out, and that's kind of hard to do in prison. People push you to go lift some weights, go walk the track, walk the yard. So in a prison camp, we always say walk the track because we had a baseball field. We don't have any fences either. In a prison, it's walk the yard. I mean, like a penitentiary or a medium. There's a big difference between a prison camp, a prison low, a prison medium, and a prison high. The high being the penitentiary. Let's see what she says here. I did in 2010, but they called lockdown, so I didn't get to see him. I lost about $3,000. Oh, he's far away. Yeah, that. So you make plans to visit somebody, and especially in, I don't know if he's in a penitentiary, Kathy, or FCI medium, but the penitentiary, that's like every other week. Every week they're going on lockdown. Something happens. If you just touch a guard, I mean, they'll lock the whole place down. It's the stupidest thing sometimes. They lock everybody down. Now, when I was at the camp, now that's where we come in. They call us over to go make their bologna sandwiches every day. We work 12-hour shifts. We have to empty their trashes. We have to mop and sweep the hallways. We have to do their laundry. Believe it or not, because they don't come out of their pods or their cages or their cells, and so the campers are the slave labor for that. Let's just see here. I did then. She says, yes, we see each other over video. Okay, but it's not the same. I can't touch them. No, it's not the same. It's probably better than nothing, but and I understand those are expensive. Aren't they $5 a minute or something like that? These tablets? I'm not sure. I heard they're expensive. But so when you say you haven't seen him, but I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Not in person. He must be far away because you said it cost you $3,000. Because I know a lot of people. The feds can send you anywhere. They can send you 2,000 miles away, and then you gotta maybe take time off your job. You have to go, take an airplane or drive something, get a hotel. It's going to cost money. It's going to cost money. She says, my profile picture is him. Oh, I can't really blow it up. I don't know how to do that, but okay. Okay. Well, 2 years to the door now. Is he getting halfway house time? Is he getting home confinement? Is he taking the first step back credits? But I'm thinking with the violent charges, he might not qualify for first step back credits. I don't know. JC is in the room. He says, "Have you ever time traveled?" Mm, well, dimensionally time traveled, where maybe the Golden Gate Bridge was blue, the Titanic never sunk. Last I heard, there was like 18 different Titanics. They were unsinkable. Um, Time travel is an interesting thing. I just time traveled 3 seconds right now. Did you see? Um, have you time traveled? FCI. That's medium level 3, which isn't as bad as a penitentiary, and some FCIs are pretty cool. But most of them play the race card in the politics, and I don't know. In the feds, in California, man, you go to a level 3 or 4, you're joining the gang, and whether you want to or not, or you're a dead man. Pretty much, right? Feds are a little different. FCIs at a camp, I could sit at anybody's table for chow, but I kind of got to be invited there. The whole table's got to agree. And then if I go sit at the black table, my white friends or whatever are going to go, "What are you doing sitting at the black table?" But they're not going to beat me up for it, right? But they might question me. So I had a Samoan friend who I was from San Francisco. I knew him from San Francisco. So every once in a while, he said, "Come on, join us, man." And he was at that table with the Islanders, the others, and he goes, "There's cool guys," and they go. So twice I sat down, I ate my meal with him. A couple, "What are you doing?" I go, "Man, I know him from San Francisco. We were friends on the streets, and in a camp, that's allowable, okay? Because that's just how it is. In a camp, we don't have all those big politics, so I'm not like no thug guy. I still don't have a tattoo. Never gonna get a tattoo, guys. I have no interest in tattoos. I'm gonna tell you. I don't think I have, but let me know once you figure out I'm down. Yeah, well, Jesus was a time travel. They say, time travel. That's a topic. That's if it's possible, has it been done? People say it's been done. I saw something when they raised the Titanic and they found it. They say they found a 38 revolver pistol that wasn't like made until the 1930s, but yet the Titanic sunk in I think 1919. So they found a gun from the future that had been down there. and they carbon dated it with the Titanic. It's not like somebody dropped in a landed its way on the Titanic. It had the same carbon dated time as the Titanic. So that's another story there. Yes, I'm in Terre Haute, Indiana, and he was in Florence High, but now in the Cannon. So I've been in when I was at the Florence. Florence is a complex. It has 4 prisons. So having been the camper, they use us to go do jobs all over those prisons, especially the lockdowns. So I've seen every facility. My day job was to go over to the ADX Supermax and work in the kitchen there, and then they take us back at night. And it's an inmate who picks us up in a van, from the Supermax back to the camp at night. But I've had to work in that penitentiary. Man, it was like it looked like a kennel inside the I mean, it's 2-man cells. It's locked down all the time. Um, the FCI wasn't that bad, but it was still bad. But that penitentiary, man, their yard, what they call a yard, it's a whole bunch of series of just chain fences and stuff. They had little ones that hold 5 people, some hold 20. There wasn't even room for a baseball field. It just like a kennel, with all these dogs and could come out of their little. Literally, it would look like a dog kennel for the inmates for the yards. It was crazy, man. I wouldn't want to be there. She says he's getting 6 months halfway out. So will he be out in a year and a half then, or 2 years and then the halfway house? And $400, huh? And it's 6 cents a minute. Okay, well the $400 is still 6 cents a minute. That's not too bad because I remember when I was there to email, it was 10 cents a minute, and you had to go to a terminal to do that. I don't know if they email from the tablet or they have to go upload it, take the tablet to the little terminals, and then upload that to your True Links or Core Links. It's True Links on the inside, it's Core Links on the outside. They have 2 different kind of companies. I guess that because everything you email or send out, it's got to be screened and scanned and then encrypted, and they're looking for certain words, like the word bomb or explode or escape, and then they're going to stop and they're probably going to pull you in the shoe, that segregating housing unit, and question you, why did you say the word bomb or escape on here? But it was 10 cents a minute, so 6 cents a minute is cheaper, but $400 for a tablet. That's a lot, that's a lot of money. So we got some people in here though. I wasn't even sure what I was going to talk about, and I still don't know. So, and like I said, if anybody wants to come on the show, the links are up here, man. Just come on and we'll talk, man. I'll put up a link here again. Let me do it. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we have any takers, or if anybody wants to call in. I got 2 channels going. So the guy that's asking about time travel. So I got this other channel that I started off was going to be all about UFOs and time travel and stuff like that. And I started running some of my prison stuff on there, and I got more subscribers on that channel than I do on the federal prison talk. So I got a little VJ, and I still haven't done like UFOs and Bigfoot time travel. Really haven't even done those. I had some guys come on. We were gonna try to do like Coast to Coast AM kind of tribute to that, or it's still in the works. So, but I got 2 channels going at once, and it is what it is. So talking about prison and time travel. So if I could travel back in time, would I still go to prison? But if you could travel back in time, and let me throw this out. Uh, let's say you could only go back 100 years. Okay. So I was watching La Bamba, the movie, recently. And then there was the Buddy Holly story, and those guys got on a plane. I forget the year, 1959 or so. I forget the year they died. But I used, when I watched that movie at the end, when the plane crashed, I go, I wish I could go back in time and tell them, don't get on the plane, guys. You're gonna crash and die. But they think I'm crazy, so I better bring like a tablet with me and newspapers and show them that you die. And could I actually stop that from happening? I think what happens is, though, I just start a whole new timeline. Like on Back to the Future 2, when Biff goes back, they go back in time, but now Biff has the sports book and he makes all this money, and then they go back to they go to a different timeline. He's got a big hotel. I think that's what would happen. I don't think you'd ever change time. You just start a whole new timeline. But So if I could go back in time and stop myself from committing the crime that I did, that's fine. But I'm not going to erase all the memories of people that have lived from there to now. I would just start a whole new timeline. It would be me on a different life. So since I'm not able to time travel, the best I can do is just straighten up my life. Know that I did wrong, learn, don't do it again, help others, and be the best role model or whatever I can, to not do it again. That's all I can do. I don't have a time machine. Be nice, but I don't. Also, he'll be out in a year and a half. Okay, that's good. That's good news. And core links, and they don't get the original letters. We send them. Everything gets full. I know state prisons were doing that. I didn't know if the feds were doing that. I don't know about the camps. Hell, we could get books sent from home in the camps, like used books, but it was only in the camps. I know at the Supermax, those inmates, they don't even get a copy of a photocopy. There's a TV screen, and there's a little channel they turn to, and somebody takes pictures of their mail, and they can like turn the channel and read each letter. That's how they got their mail. Sounds like they're kind of doing that to everybody now. Well, they get photocopied. Yes. Well, that's because people are putting LSD on the letters and whatever kind of drug they can think of in there. So I get that. And the Big Bopper. That's right. Right. That's right. And the pilot. 4 of them, right? Nobody cares about the pilot, right? But if you haven't seen the Buddy Holly story with Busey, his last name is Busey. Can't remember his first name, but he's an actor. But it's a good movie. And then La Bamba. They didn't. I don't know if they did a movie on the Big Bopper, but they all decided to take a plane, a little 4-seater Cessna or 6-seater Cessna, because it was cold. And their bus didn't have a heater, so they were going to fly to their next gig together, and the plane didn't make it, and they crashed. Tragedies, right? Same thing kind of happened to Leonard Skinner, right? Half of them. The only 2 remaining members were Rosington and Collins. Now they got there was Ronnie, Donnie, and Johnny Van Zant, and 2 brothers left, and Ronnie formed 38 Special. Johnny Van Zant was kind of always solo. I think I got the names right. But Ronnie from 38 Special was always asking, because the remaining members of Leonard Skinner still tour, and they wanted him to be a singer because his voice sounded a lot like his brother. And he's, I can't do that to my brother. Finally changed his mind maybe about 10 years ago. So now they tour together, but I don't think they made any new albums. But they had a plane crash too. That's happened. These little planes, you only hear about when celebrities die, but probably been a lot more plane crashes than we know about. Hey, I got some clips I want to show you. Let's see here. Some funny clips I found from some shows I did. So the one I want to show you some clips from this super channel thing that I did. I had 10 prison channels on here. I even got Matt Cox and some little funny things that happened. There was a guy, Big Weavy, doing time with Big Weavy. He's still got his channel, but I think it's just called Weavy now. And this one's funny. Let me show you guys this one. They're little, I don't know, just little clips. Let's see here. Put it on here. Pull it up here. And see if we can get a laugh out of these guys. So we were all talking about the first time we got sentenced and we went to prison and stuff like that. So let's see here. Where's the one with Big Weavy? It's Matt Cox, and I got Matt Cox, and I'm going to call these bloopers, right? So here's what Big Weavy did. We're all laughing at this one too.
Beating at my door, and which gate, and the door was locked. They didn't kick it in, do no crazy shit like that. I hollered and said, "Yo," because I was a bouncer at the time, and I hadn't been asleep in a few hours. I was like, "Yo, just let me get my clothes on." But I was in there, stuff packing up, man. I was packing Xanax in my belly button. I had lighters under my titties. I had lighters under my titties. Yeah, a couple of packs of Marlboros under my belly.
How much belly did you have?
And a little bit of tobacco. You know where it goes.
That's a lot of packing, man.
Look, but see, here's the thing. There ain't none of them guards wanted
to up your ass. This is all in your belly.
Well, yeah, and under my balls. But I got it made for a nice stay though.
So if you guys want to see some of these shows, If you guys want, I mean, they're on my channel. That's just some of the clips. I got a few more I'll show you. The funny stuff we do. Oh, Gary Busey, yeah, that's his name. The Buddy Holly story, yeah. You know, Buddy Holly was the first white man to play the Apollo Theater, and that was by mistake. So he got booked. So his music was all over the radio a lot, and this is when that basic rock and roll was like black people. White kids were listening to it, but they had to hide it from their parents, and they called it jungle music and all this stuff. But rock and roll was pretty much it was a black thing, and white people liked it. But so at the time, everybody when they hear him, they thought it was a black man. So I guess the owner of the Apollo heard his music, booked him to do a show at the Apollo, and Buddy Holly and the Crickets show up to get to do their gig. And like they showed up, I don't know, the day before or that morning, and they said, "Who the hell are you?" We're Buddy Holly and the Crickets. You're not. Yes, we are. You can't be. You're white. And they said, "Well, yeah. Well, last time we checked." Well, that's okay. You booked us. We'll just take our money that you promised us, $400 or whatever, and we'll be on our way. And they said, I mean, we have a contract. And so they go, all right, well, this has never been done before. You guys, sure, they might kill you. And they said, we don't care. They went out there, and well, this is in the movie. So they open up, and the curtain pulls up, and there's this black audience, and they're just staring at it like they've never seen. They thought it was going to be a black band, too. And as soon as they started playing and stuff, well, at least according to the music, it took a couple minutes, but then they started and they got accepted. And, the rest is history, guys. So let me show you another clip here that I think is funny. What's this say? All right. So there's I got another one, Big Weavy, too, but let me show you one. So Adam, it was Aussie Prison Talk. I don't know if his channel's still around, but here's what he said to the judge on his sentencing day. This guy's a fool, man. Oh, man. Let's see. Let me find this one here. And let me see here. And then I got to show you the Matt Cox stuff. Where's the Adam one? Yeah, here we go.
One day I even took my shoe off and I threw it at the magistrate, my shoe one day. Because he was pissing me off.
God damn it.
I mean, the guy's going to give me some time in prison. I'm not going to be happy.
Fucking asshole.
But I said to the magistrate, I said, you think that locking me up, sending me to prison, you think that worries me? No, it doesn't. You know what I mean? That's my home. That's where I belong. Go ahead. Do your worst.
Wow. Adam, I'm learning about you, Adam. Here I thought, okay, all right.
But I got out. See, I was already wild before I went in there, right? But I was...
No, you really?
Because they threw me in Goulburn, which is the maximum security prison, and that was called the Killing. So yeah, that's Adam. Still angry, still angry. Let's see. What do we got here? Oh, you didn't know that? It was interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I think I'm a history buff. I don't know what that really means, but I definitely rock and roll history and stuff. Oh yeah, every day it's getting closer, falling faster than a roller coaster. Yeah, I went to Columbia School of Broadcasting, guys, in the 80s. That's Columbia School of Broadcasting, and I was going to be a DJ on the radio. I even did an internship with KOFY, Coffee FM, on your dial, San Francisco. And I was supposed to, for a year, I did this internship, and so they had a TV station, but they had a radio station next door. And my job for the DJ, and his name was Eddie Murray, a white guy, and he always did not Eddie Murphy, because Eddie Murphy was big there. Eddie Murray. And I was his assistant, so he had to play. They played music, right? They had a song list and all this. So my job was to every song that he had to play, I had to go look up, find it. It wasn't the internet back then either, guys, so it wasn't easy. But I had to go do some history digging on the band or the musician or the artist and come up with some little trinket information about the song. So anything, and this is the '80s kind of music. So every kind of band that I hear in the '80s music, I know a little bit about for a year. I had to go search history, and so I had to go to the library. These guys, mainly, there was no internet. Okay, this was like I don't know, 1988, 89, 90, something like that. No internet, man. No internet. But I'll tell you what a screw up I was. So I do my year. James Gabbard owned the TV station, and so after my year internship, they call you in the office. They do the review, and he offered me a position to be a DJ on the radio. There was going to be an opening coming up, and it was going to be like a 2 in the morning spot or something. That's where you start. But I said, sure, I'll take it. I'll take the job. So he goes, all right. So tomorrow will be your last day with Eddie, and then like on a Thursday, we're gonna have you start, right? So I went like I did, and all on drugs and alcohol, party my ass off, and maybe it was 4 a.m. I think 4 a.m. I was supposed to be there. I don't show up. Not that I didn't want to. I was so high on crack cocaine, I couldn't make. I was gacked. I couldn't talk. I couldn't move. I remember, and then the phone rang, and I didn't want to answer it, and I blew it, man. I blew it. And story, no wonder I ended up in prison. Took prison to finally straighten me out. Look, man, you got a job, you go to work, you don't blow. At the time, so I blew my chance, man. A whole year doing that for nothing, man. So anybody out there, you don't get second chances sometimes. So then I switched careers and whatever. I went back to restaurants but well, here I am. Finally I got a show. Oh boy. I can't. Too funny. He threw his shoe at the judge. Yeah. Yeah. So let me show you guys. I'll show you some more clips from that show, and it's on the channel. Maybe I'll put a link here after if you guys want to watch that. It's kind of like an hour or something long. I did 3 of those, I think. So it's time to call these guys up and do another one because they were kind of fun. Let's see here. And I don't know if you guys do know who Matt Cox is, but he's got a big channel. What's the name? True Crime with Matt Cox, man. He was the guy who'd steal houses from his from his living room, right? He would go switch the titles, have the titles put in his name, and then go get mortgages out on your house, right? And $300,000 mortgages, whatever. So imagine this: you got a couple that retired, they paid for their house and paid off. They think life is good. They knock on the door. You got sheriffs and everything outside. They're there to remove them from the property because the 3 mortgages they have taken out on their houses they have not made one payment on, and they were there to repossess their house. And my house is paid for. I've never got a mortgage. Well, yes, you have. And that's just one of the things Matt did. I don't know how many times he did that to people. Is he sorry for it now? Yeah. He could tell you, but let's see what Max says. Well, you know what? I'm gonna hear. I got a little more from Weavy. This one's more funnier.
Hell
Look,
yeah,
but see,
you
here's the thing.
prepared.
There ain't none of them guards wanted
Nothing
to.
up your ass. This is all in your belly.
Well, yeah, and under my balls. But I I got I got it made for a nice stay though. And shit, I had Suboxone wrapped up in like into a wad that was big, no bigger than nothing, like 14 of them.
Fuck, I wish I was your celly. Shit.
Hey man, I'm gonna tell you what, being fat is not completely disadvantage
I
sometimes.
guess so.
Yeah, because when they go in to change you out or send you in, like them guys didn't want to
They're
go
not
in and
gonna
look at my.
your flap. Yeah.
They didn't want to go in and look at my fat ass naked. You know what I mean? They're like, here, man, go put these clothes on. Shit, hurry up. So I'm in there swallowing pills, shoving pills, Like I said, I made sure I had 2 big.
Yeah, it goes on and on. But let me show you Matt Cox. I'll do little clips from each one of these guys. They're kind of funny. See, these are guys we're just kind of loosening up and just all doing this show for fun. And there was a woman on there too. Here's what we're talking about where we got sentenced. Here's something Matt Cox says.
Yeah.
All right, so that was it. There was no. I mean, there. You know, I mean, I knew I was done. But yeah, you know, I heard 26 years, and you know, that was
That's
it.
a long time. That's a long. I
And
mean,
Yeah,
I
it's a
knew there was
long
nothing
time.
there's nothing you could say anyway. There was nothing. There was nothing I could say. I mean, my lawyer made a bunch of arguments. She lost every single one of them.
sure.
You know, but when I walked in, I thought I was going to end up with like 12 or 13 years because she had me convinced she was going to win all the arguments.
That's
And-
part of their hustle, you know. These lawyers.
Right.
Well, I mean,
Was she paid?
bro, I'm so fucking guilty. Like, yeah, I didn't give her anything to fucking work with.
Right.
You know,
Right.
like I can't blame her for me putting myself in this position and expecting her to fucking fix it for me. I was like,
Yeah,
Right.
the Matt, the only man that steals houses. That's almost impossible.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll guys show you some more in a bit. So yeah, thanks, Kathy. I appreciate that chatting with you too. Yeah, and I still haven't had any takers on a phone call in here, and or not want to come on the show, but it's still there. It's still there. Still got a few people hanging on. Let me I'll show you a couple more of these clips, and then we'll move on to some other topic or something. We'll see what's going on. Let's find out what. I'll show you something from every person on that show, maybe. And there was also a woman, Angie. Let's hear from her. She's got a prison
All
channel.
right, Angie. Let's hear about your sentencing day experience memories.
Well, it took 3.5 to 4 years for me to even get to that point. I had never been in trouble before, and it was just a waiting game for me. So sentencing day came, and it was during COVID. I knew I was looking at 30 months. And sentencing day came. I was on Zoom, and I had the Chief Justice of Eastern District in California, Kimberly Mueller. So she gave me the 30 months that I anticipated. The whole thing was just really surreal for me because I had only had like a parking ticket before or something, you know. And here I went straight to the feds.
They don't care. They don't care when you get to the feds. The judge is looking at you like, so why are you in my courtrooms? You're Mother Teresa, right? You've done all these great things, but here you are guilty. You know,
100%. Yep. So yeah, they.
And yeah, so like if you guys want to see more, I'll put a clip on here. But you can just go to my main channel, and there's a little search button there. Just type in Prison Bunch. Prison Bunch. So yeah, and again, if you want to call in live, I'll take your phone call and I'll talk about anything you want. There's a link, a couple of these in the chat rooms, and you want to come on the show, come on the show. Like who's it used to say? Not Jesse Jan, Billy Kid. I'll make you famous. I don't know if I'd make you famous, but I'll put on those here. Let's do some of these clips again. Let's see here. Well, I got. You know what? Let me show you guys a funny thing now. I could do this now. I did this during the pandemic. So you remember Fauci when everybody was on lockdown and this guy is everything. So here I make fun of liberals on this one. Okay, so if you're a liberal, you might want to watch this, but it's on the channel somewhere. But I make fun of the whole woke thing. Here we go. Welcome to Club Fed True Stories. I'm Club Fed Sean. This is a special edition of Club Fed True Stories. Have you heard the news? The government is going to go door to door to check to see if you've been vaccinated. That's why I've got my Star of Fauci, and you can get one too. Here's how to get your Star of Fauci, because I like to wear mine everywhere. I wear my Star of Fauci at a homeless camp. I wear my Star of Fauci on a bus. I wear my Star of Fauci when I'm at a park. Get your Star of Fauci today, and you can wear it to the grocery store. But wait, there's more. Your Star of Fauci when you go to a restaurant. I like to wear my Star of Fauci when I go to Nancy Pelosi's office. She loves it. She just loves it. I wear my Star of Fauci when I go to a peaceful protest. You know what I'm saying? I like to wear my Star of Fauci when I'm just hanging out with my friend. And you know what? If you order now, it'll include a second star of Fauci. I'll give you details coming up soon. I even wear my star of Fauci when I can't breathe. And that's when you might want a second star of Fauci, especially when you can't breathe. You can get it in the face mask too for $19.95. But wait, there's more. Bring your star of Fauci when you visit the White House at the hospital, because you need to find out how you can get your second star of Fauci. Wants to end up in prison for not getting vaccinated. When the feds come for you, they really come for you. But if you have your star of Fauci, when the feds come for you, you can even have an extra star of Fauci. That's one for you and one for a friend. Because you don't want to be unprepared if you're going to federal prison. That's what this channel is all about. Still can't breathe, but you don't want to leave home without your star of Fauci. And here's how you can get your second star of Fauci. At the description of this video, there's a Venmo account. It shows you how to donate to the Venmo account. You're actually donating to the channel. Please, I hope you get your star of Fauci today, because I don't want to see you in federal prison. Thanks for watching. And that was, I made that like, wow. I haven't seen that in years, so everybody's running now. Boy, I never shut me down on that one. But I still had fun making it, man. I don't care. Yeah, I don't know, boy. It's guys going on 40 minutes. I don't know. I'm gonna show one more clip, unless somebody wants to call or come in. Yeah, I might save it for we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Let me see. Let me find something else here. I'm just showing clips of my show, so I don't think that's going to be a copyright infringement by YouTube, but you never know. How about Harvey? Harvey Talks Prison. He's still doing his thing. He does videos all the time. Good friend of mine.
Harvey, your sentencing day must have been a big deal because you got 29 years. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, let's see if I can remember that. That was a long time ago.
You don't forget that day.
No, it was in 1988, and they sentenced me to life. I mean, I just felt my life was over, you know. I thought I was done, you know. And in some ways that might have been good because I went into prison with that attitude, you know. My life is over, so, you know, nobody better fuck with me, you know.
See, your life's not always over,
Do you
man.
remember did you get to talk to the judge right before he sentenced you?
I can't remember exactly what said. I just remember him bringing the hammer down and saying, "I sentence you to life in the Missouri Department of Corrections."
Oh my God! See, I could never I sentence you to life.
A life sentence. So I did a show last week, guys, about there was a lady named Alice Johnson who got a life sentence plus 25 years. Now a life sentence has a time. It's 30 years in the feds. In some states it's 25 years or 30, but that's usually what. So when people hear life sentence, it's 30 years. Like sometimes it's 25. So, but she had 30 life sentence plus 25. So that's 55 years. And I think she was 40, 50 when she went in. But Trump, 5 years ago, he pardoned her. Clemency, she got out. And then since she's been out, she's been, trying to help other people. And he told her, I'm not going to forget you. So when he got reelected here, was it 3 months ago or so, he just made her the pardon czar. I've been leaving messages with her office. So now she works for the White House. She is the pardon czar. If you want to get clemency or pardon from, even if you're in prison or you're out, she's the lady to help. And Brian and Cody, he's been on here for time. He just got released. He says he talked to her for 2 hours, and I'm jealous because I keep trying to call, but I got some messages back and forth. Trying to help a few other people out that could use her services. Alice Johnson. So catch that show I did last week. I got all kinds of news clips about her. This lady was, 5 years ago sitting in prison. My life's over. I'm going to die here. And, you make the best of it. Your prison becomes your world. It's the city you live in. And you get to see TV, but you don't really know what's going on out there. And so she's still grateful. She's still humble. you picked the right lady for that job. So your life is not always over, even if you get a life sentence. Just like Harvey. And Harvey's still a young man, if you ask me. He's younger than me. And me and Harvey, if you catch this, we still got to do a catch-up show. What's been going on between us? Harvey was one of the first guys I contacted when I started my channel. I started watching, I was watching other YouTube prison YouTube channels, and some of the people leave their phone number or email, and I think he left his phone number. He's one of the first persons that talked to me, and I said, "Hey, man, I'd like to have you on my show." And he was kind of new, and I was kind of new, and just went from there, And then I called other people, and I got 10 people on that one channel, that show, and there's other ones on the one. Let me show you just one more clip. I keep saying that, right? Just one more. Let me just rob one more bank, and then I'm going to retire. If you're living like that, guys, you got to quit living like that, okay? Let's see. How about we go with Genghis? So he did time in prison. Let's see what he's about.
The first time I knew I was going to prison, I had to go to prison. It was a statutory issue because on top of everything else, I had escaped and escaped from a bunch of other stuff I had escaped, and they were just over it, basically. So it wasn't super eventful. It was just a matter of how much the year, what the number was. But one that does stick out in my mind is the final one. And this is the one where I actually told the truth to the judge and was like, yeah, I'm fucked up bad. And you guys should probably help me because I've been locked up for a long time. And if you don't help me, this is gonna be it. It's pretty.
And if you guys want to watch the whole show, I did 3 episodes, I believe. And I'll put the link underneath here because I've been showing them. But do a search on Federal Prison Talk, and they're on there. But anyway, somebody came in. Let's see what these say. I haven't heard from you in a while. Hell yeah, I see some good people up here. I didn't even know about this. Even a dog gets lucky and gets a warm spot on the sidewalk once in a while. Yeah, Tanaka, and I know you got a man. I don't even know if that Facebook chat room. So I forget who put together Facebook chat room for prison YouTubers, right? And you were on there, and I've been catching your videos. I've been leaving comments and stuff, man. Hey, and I put a link if you want to come on. Let me put the link. Hopefully you will. I'll put a link on here again, man. Because I'm running out of things to talk about. But maybe I'm not. I'm showing clips here, and I'll put a link up again, man. So I'm not doing the StreamYard anymore because now they want you to pay for everything, pretty much. And they give you 2 hours a month for their free thing. I could do 2 hours of streaming a month. Well, that's one show. I mean, so restream. I'm not trying to do a commercial for them, but it's unlimited on that, and I could do broadcasts on 2 different channels at the same time, and it does all kinds of stuff. And I'm sure maybe a few years from now they'll get greedy and then I'll have to find another service. But there's the link, man. What's you say here? When did you do that? I totally missed that one. I'm going to have to watch over the reruns. You got some good people on that panel. That was at least 2 years ago, at least. And I did so. I live in Albuquerque now, but I did one when I lived in San Francisco. I forget which one that was, and I did one when I moved here to Albuquerque, and I did a third one, but I think only 6 people showed up for that one. Let's see. I find the bilateral pulmonary embolism was in the hospital for a while. Doctor said I got real lucky. Wow. Yeah. Well, I'm lucky or blessed. You're here, man. You're here. And I saw you. I know you got your YouTube channel, and I catch you every now and then. I don't know if you ever read the comments I put on there, but you finally, for a while there, man. I know you wouldn't come on shows. So that was here's the chance to link. But now you got your own show. So I'm not sure the name of it. I want to plug it for you. I can't remember the name of your channel, but you can tell us. He says, I'll be going to bed here in just a few tomorrow. I got to go on on a Crusted Joints channel and okay, go on a Crusted Joints channel and kick it with him. I just seen you and wanted to stop in and hit the like and show some. Oh, thank you, thank you. Hey, and what's up with Weeby? I think you guys remember Big Weeb. He used to do these marathon shows, and I looked and he hasn't done one like in a month. But then I look, he did post something 7 days ago, 9 days ago, and I tried to call him, and his number it's not working. Still think about you guys. Hazmat Harvey, like 5 minutes, like 5 times in real life. That man's soul is intact as is one hell of a good guy. Yeah, Harvey. I mean, he was the first guy I contacted, and I still say hello to him and chat with him and all that. But we're overdue for a show together. But Harvey talks prison, guys, and I would love to kick it with you sometime tonight. It's just not a good night, and I was just getting ready. No, I understand, man. What time is it? Oh, it's 11:30. Yeah, I kind of split up with the girlfriend, and now I have all this time, but I hate, and so I'm bored, lonely, I don't know, that kind of thing. So here I am doing the late night thing. It's not that late, but it's 11:30 here in New Mexico, and I get tell you guys, I was born and raised in San Francisco. Never in my life, New Mexico was not even on my top 1,000 places to visit. But I'm here because somebody watched my YouTube channel who has a nonprofit out here to help people coming out of prison. A lady named Ann Edenfield, and she saw my show. We talked. One thing led to another. She offered me a job, and to get the hell out of San Francisco, I did it, man. So I got $850 a month. I have my own 1-bedroom apartment here. I can live on $15 an hour here. I'm making like 22, but you can't do that in San Francisco. You got out there. It's $3,000 for a studio, and 4 people share that. You have roommates out there. There's no such thing as your own place unless you're working for Google or some high-paying job. But us real grunt workers, service worker, you're working at Subway, Starbucks, restaurant, and even if you're the chef, they don't pay you much. $20, $30 an hour, you can't make it out there. So New Mexico was not pleased. Because maybe I'd rather be in Nebraska or Utah or Wyoming, but here I am. And this year, we'll see how as time goes on. Kathy, you have a blessed night too. And my channel is the same as the name. Okay, Tashanka, we go. And if you guys ever watched The Walking Dead, you remember Egan? I did the little. You sound like him. You look like him. Remember, I did the little collage. I tell you, man, a doppelganger, man. I'm telling you. And it's off in spelling of Crazy Horse in Dakota language. I don't spell it as exactly because nobody's taken his name since he was murdered. Okay. I buy that one for $1. I'm probably gonna call it a night too, guys. For me to do so would be disrespectful. Yeah, I get it. But I do think you chiming in there. I'm not like Weavy. He does 4, 5, 6 hour shows sometimes. Like I said, I'm wondering if he's okay, man. He hasn't done one in a while. And I don't know the deal. Here we go. Yeah, he got with me some girl. He's been taking it easy and staying off YouTube a little bit. He is okay though. Okay, see this girl I had. Well, let's just say I've done over 500 video episodes. She's never watched one of them. I don't even know if she knows the name of the channel. Not to talk bad about them. It was getting toxic, and it seemed like I could never do a show. I'm not going to blame anybody, but I'm single again, and I'm doing shows, and I'm going to tell you, man. I got to take accountability for my side of the dirty street. If your side's still dirty, that's on you. All I can do is clean up my side of the street. When I think about Harvey's case, I get angry at the same system that failed that man, gave him 29 years in hell. Yeah. And boy, I mean, yeah, I had nothing but respect for Harvey. Nothing but respect, He's still plugging away doing his videos, man. So you guys check out both these guys' channels. I'll put a link up for these other guys' shows too. And, yeah, I guess I'll call it a night too. It's going on an hour, and I'm starting to get tired. And you know, he says, "No, man, YouTube's good thing. I've met some good people and met some good friends. There ain't nothing wrong with hopping on YouTube and kicking it with you. No, no, not at all. No, like, and like YouTube Streets. There's a bunch of young guys on that, and those guys, man. Every time I come on, they give me nothing but respect. They call me OG and all this shit. But there's hope for this next generation. So if you guys ever catch the YouTube Streets and all those guys, and they have their own channels and they get together, and it's a bunch of youngsters. I'm going to say they're all under 30, and they're intelligent, man. Here when I thought, this next generation, and they changed my mind. There's a lot of good people on YouTube. A lot of good people. Hurt Fresh Out. He popped in here a couple times. Got a big channel. He took the time to come say hello, and I could go on and on and on, but there's a lot of good people. So hope I'm one of them. People tell me that, so I'm gonna suck it up and say thank you. I'm gonna take it in. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it a night. Subscribe, like, hit that channel, share.